at this point, I don't care if it falls off the jack. There's a big hole. More than enough room to put an LS in here, eh? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna get to work on the Cobalt again. We're gonna start doing these rocker panels. So the first thing we need to do is to cut off the old rustiness, and figured that's a good time to pull out the cheap plasma cutter. All right, guys, so we got the plasma cutter. Oh, I guess I gotta pause the music for the content. You know, Rick Ross needs his monies. I'm not sure how this cuts through paint, but I guess we're gonna find out. I didn't think it would. I'm going to get the grinder and then do a light grind along where I'm going to cut, which makes sense. I mean, maybe if I was cutting on the rusty part, but because it's still good metal. But really, that's a good thing because now it'll only cut along this line that I just made. I wonder if I'm going to try my welding type helmet because those glasses suck, especially when you're wearing glasses. So let's try this instead. I just cut totally wrong. Maybe cut off wheels is a better way to go. This helmet's too dark. Maybe I can lighten it up. It just went like, which is okay because the metal goes up there anyways, but not really what I want to do. Oh, there we go. I can see better and I can guide myself better sitting. There I couldn't see it. I had the helmet too dark, and so I started to go, which is fine because the new one goes up here. And again, I keep going. Huh?
You walked away there.
Yeah. Is it making lots of sparks?
Yeah.
Compared to a grinder, more, less, same?
Same?
Yeah. Let's see how it is with the grinder. Because at the grinder, I can see where I'm going. I mean, this is good for cutting stuff, but something like this, it's probably better to use the grinder. All right, guys, so now we got the cutoff wheel instead, which is going to be way better. I mean, I totally, screwed it up here, cut all messy, which was not a good idea. So, even though it should be covered by the new one, still, I think this will be better. And I should have just done this in the first place, but I thought, oh, that's a plasma cutter, might as well give her a That's a little better. Oh, there's so much grossness in here. Oh, that's a lot of mess. But the inner part is still good, like where the new rocker has to go to. It's still good. The only thing that I might be is like this edge here, I'm going to have to probably cut out and weld a new piece in. Well, that's the majority of it. Everything's cut off. I'm just cleaning up all this crap to get a good surface to weld to. And then at the front there, I maintained that little piece because it was still good. And then at the back here, I took the rust off. And as you can see, this is pretty weak here. So, but then it gets good up at the top. So I'm gonna have to cut this off and make a little piece that fits in there. Otherwise, we're moving right along. and at least it's not so much rust anymore. So I'm trying to get off these pieces of the metal from the old rocker, and obviously it's spot welded on, like here and here. So I got this tool here. The Goon Squad YouTube channel, they had used one, and I thought it looked really cool, so I got one and I'm trying it, and it actually works really good. The sandpaper I'm using is kind of the cheaper kind, to get some like nice 3M ones. And look at that, comes right off. And before you guys say anything, I know this is a wood chisel.
I was just gonna say, but I figured.
But it's still a chisel, so I sharpened it up nice. It actually works really good. It's not like I'm chiseling heavy duty stuff. This is just thin metal, so I'm gonna keep doing this, get all this crap off of here, and get ready for the new rocker. All right, so I spent some time cleaning underneath here and found out that a bunch of it's rusty. So there's a big rust hole right here in the inner part of the rocker, and then all down here it's rusty too. So I could probably leave it, but I'm gonna fix it so that it's done properly and sealed up. But what I'm gonna do is this rocker, this piece right here, this little section I'm not using, so I'm gonna cut this off. And this is 3 feet, and I need 3 feet, so it's actually the right size. Maybe they knew when they added that on just for that reason. But I'll cut that off and then fit it in there.
We'll point the sparks right at me.
Yeah. Woo! All right, so I got the piece fit in there, and it actually fits perfect. So what I'm gonna do here is I marked it. I'm actually just gonna bend this. I'm not gonna cut it, I'll just bend it so that it'll go up higher where the metal's even better condition, and then I'll weld it there. I bent it up, and now it fits pretty perfect actually. So it covers there, all the way to the back. I got the holes drilled for the spot welds, you can see. I also drilled some here because I can't really weld all the way up here. And like I said, this will get pushed up against here and welded, and so will this one, and then welded here. So that looks pretty good. Happy with that. Smoky. Okay, spot welds are welded. Now I just got to weld up here and here, there, and there. All right, guys. So it's the next day, and after my camera SD card was full, kept working, which was pretty much just fitting the rocker, as you can see, and then starting to weld it. I cut out this rusty area here. So what I'm gonna do there is I'm gonna make a piece, and then this one, hopefully it'll be done. I'm also going to make the end here, kind of a piece on the end. That should be pretty easy. Up at the front, I didn't go all the way to the end, so that should be pretty easy. So yeah, let's get finished welding this thing and get this rocker done, because unfortunately, I have to do this all over again, which I won't bother boring you guys with showing you doing the other side, but because it's basically going to be the same as doing this. So let's try to get this one done today, and then I'll finish the other side on my own, and then in the next video after that we'll be doing, I don't know, other things. All right, so I cut a piece out of that steel, fit it in there, and so now I'll just overlap weld this like this, and that'll give kind of that little bit of an edge like the original one had. All right, so I got that all tacked on, and as you can see, I kind of left a little bit of a gap here. I didn't push it right tight up against, because there is kind of like a little edge there. If you remember on that piece that I showed you there, it kind of has a little lip to it. So I thought in order to kind of recreate that, if I left a gap and welded it and grinded, it'll actually leave kind of a little ledge there. I mean, none of it's really that important because it pretty much all gets covered with that side skirt, but you know, try to make it as nice as possible. I made up this little piece right there. Let's see, this little piece, just cut it up and fit it in there. So now I can weld that in. And then I also have to put this piece, which is from the original. I guess there's a clip that holds the side skirt on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack that in, and then this I'll have to wait until maybe I'll go out after and pull that side skirt off the other car so I can test fit it, which is not a bad idea. Test fit the side skirt, and then I can weld this on after. All right, guys, so I got all the top pretty much welded. I got the bottom welded up. Some of it was kind of crappy to weld because the underneath metal is still a little rusty, even though I ground it as good as I could. But overall, it's pretty good. The only thing I still have to do now is weld up here and the back, which should actually weld a lot nicer because it's all new metal. So get that welded up, and then it's ready to grind. I ran out of welding wire, so I had to run out and get welding wire. I also picked up some fiberglass body filler to seal all the welds. So once everything's welded and ground down, then a coat of that can go on and get smoothed out. I won't have to do much body work because the bottom lip you don't see, the top lip you don't really see either, because I'll show you. There's a molding that goes over top, this piece right here. And so once you put it on, it goes on basically like that. Of course, a lot smoother. It covers 90% of the weld. So I am gonna smooth it out, but if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter because you can't see it anyways. So let's get back to welding that last part, and then we can grind it all down. Safety gloves on. Burn my arm off. Just like anything, I always space the tacks, keep the heat down, especially on something like over here, which is all, you know, part of the body, quarter panel. I'm trying to keep my welds at the top kind of small and light because, you know, this metal is probably, you know, it's not thick like this, it's not new metal, it's old, so just to be on the safe side that it doesn't burn through. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to weld this and then I'll come back when I'm done, because this is going to take a while. Because basically I'm going to let it cool for a tiny bit, then I'm going to go in the middle of these welds, kind of like one here, one here, one here, and then do the same, let it cool for a bit, and then keep doing that. I don't want to get this part here too hot because I don't want it to warp. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back in a bit when it's all welded up. I got it all ground down, finished welded and ground down, ready to be like fiberglass. I took the side skirt off the other car, and from what I can tell from the other car, it kind of goes on around there. So then I got to take this tab, which is the tab that clamps this on, and I got to kind of figure out where exactly it needs to go. And I think it's about there. So then I'll move this out of the way. I had a felt marker, and then I have to weld this on. Here, I'll use a piece of tape, hopefully. And I can just tape it into place for right now. There, so now I know that's where that needs to go. So then I'll probably drill a hole here and spot weld it like it was from the factory. And then, yeah, otherwise this fits pretty good, like it should. And like I said, it pretty much covers the whole rocker. All right, guys, so I ended up getting the first coat or fiberglass coat on to seal everything up. There's that little thing mounted in there. So I got the first coat on. Turned out pretty good. It looks pretty smooth overall, so bodywork wise it shouldn't be too bad. I'm hoping, you know, one coat of filler after I smooth out this fiberglass should take care of everything. I mean, like I said, that stuff's not so critical. It's obviously here in the rear quarter that it's more critical. I also stripped the rust off of this part here. I don't know, it looks a little, it's a little wavy, so I'm gonna have to like do a little hammer and dolly and see if it's still strong. If not, I may end up having to cut that out and weld a new piece in, which I don't really want to have to do. But I don't know if I'm gonna finish the body work on this side before I start on the other side, or I'll start on the other side right away in terms of cutting the old rocker off and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's going to be it for this video. It's probably running kind of long. So like always, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll check you later.